everybody. I'm going to get going. I know people are still joining, but hopefully you won't miss too much at the beginning. Um, there's lots and lots of people here, so that's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. It's great to see so many new faces, but also lots of returning mentors as well, which is fantastic. Um, the aim of today's session is to, of course, learn a little bit more about what Global Summer School is and also what roles will be available for this summer. There will be an opportunity to ask any questions that you have at the end of the session. And also, if you do have any questions as we go, please do pop them in the Q&A box. And the team are all here willing and waiting to answer any questions that you have. So please don't wait until the end of the session. If you know your question now, pop it in the Q&A and then the team can help answer it as we go along. Otherwise, we might run out of time at the end of the presentation. As you expect, the presentation will be around 20-30 minutes to give you lots of information, and then we'll use the rest of the time for the Q&A. So if you are a returning mentor, you will see that the team is exactly the same as last summer. So my name's Claire Arnott. I'm the Global Summer School Manager and joined on the call today by Min and Kaftan and Eleanor, who will be helping to answer all of the questions that you might have. So for people who haven't worked on Global Summer School, I just wanted to give a very brief introduction about what is Global Summer School. So it's a 2-week residential programme, obviously based in the centre of London. It's run from the South Kensington campus, and students will be staying on campus with us in the Princess Gardens accommodation. The Global Summer School is aimed at high academically achieving 16 and 17-year-olds only from all across the globe. Last summer we had students from 65 different nationalities joining the programme, and this summer we've already had applications from well over 50 different nationalities, and we're only a month or so into the application process. So we're looking to have another very, very international programme, which is fantastic. It's an academic programme, and this summer we'll have 5 academic subjects on offer. So we've got a brand new academic subject for those returning academic mentors, which is chemistry. And we will also have data science and artificial intelligence, engineering, medicine and life sciences, and physics. And I'll give a bit more information about what those courses entail a bit later, and also what is the role of an academic mentor. As you'd expect, students who are taking part in the Global Summer School will be learning from Imperial academics. We are an Imperial-based summer school, so we're not like some of the other external summer schools that just hire the accommodation and hire the teaching facilities. All of the staff working on the programme are current Imperial staff and academics. Students will have the academic programme during the day. They will stay in the accommodation on campus and have the opportunity to meet other students from all around the world as well. And there'll be masterclasses and guidance as part of the programme as well. So it's a fully rounded programme where it's a very packed, busy programme, and students have the opportunity to live and learn in London. So we really want to show them what it's like to be a proper Imperial student. So a very quick overview of the programme. We have 2 sessions of Global Summer School running each year. So the first will run from the 29th of June for 2 weeks, and the second session will run from the 3rd of August for 2 weeks. The sessions are fairly identical. There will be some slight differences to the academic programme, which I'll talk about in a few slides' time, and a few very tiny changes to the social programme. Again, I'll run through the social programme in a bit more detail. Students will just come for one of the sessions, so they'll either attend in July or they'll attend in August. We are ideally looking for mentors who can work on both of the sessions. That would be fantastic, but we also welcome applications for mentors who can only work for either the July programme or the August programme. In terms of the numbers of mentors required, we require 84 academic mentors and 56 pastoral mentors. That is if we have the same mentors working in each programme, but it's unlikely that all mentors will work in both. So over the course of the summer, we're likely to have around 150, 160 mentors working on the programme. So it's a huge recruitment process, and there are lots of roles available, but please do be patient with us, because as you can imagine, we are dealing with a huge influx of queries and interviews, and I'll go through the process of how to apply a little bit later. As per last year, we've got the same number of students per session, so that's 280 students per session. Like I said, they are really international students. It is a fee-paying programme, so not the same as any outreach programs that you might have worked on. It is a very global fee-paying program, and students do expect to have the best when they're here. So we want to provide the best service for them and to showcase what Imperial and London can offer them. So the first week of the programme is split into 2 weeks. The first week of the programme is where students would focus on their specialist academic subject, and they're the subjects that I ran through a little bit earlier. The second week of the programme, again, the same as last year for those who worked as an academic mentor, will be our Innovation Challenge. This is delivered by the Enterprise Hub, and students will be working across subject areas, so they'll all be mixed up. And they'll be working together to solve a real world challenge, and they'll have the focus on entrepreneurism. The reason that we want to offer this innovation challenge is to give students, as well as the academic knowledge that they need, to really give them transferable skills that they'll be able to take with them to their future studies or their future career opportunities. And as you know, all of you are Imperial students. You might not decide to have an academic career. You might go into the world of entrepreneurship, or you might invent something fantastic, and to have those skills behind you will give you a real step up in the world. So we want the students to have this experience and to see all the options that are available to them, as well as giving them lots of transferable skills. As I mentioned, throughout the academic programme, there will be university masterclasses, so they're delivered by our international recruitment team and also our careers service as well. So students can have sessions on how to write a personal statement, for example, or how to apply to university via UCAS as well as the social programme that I'll talk a little bit more about in a few slides' time. So for mentors or for potential mentors who are interested in the academic programme, these are a very brief overview of what the first week sessions look like. I won't run through all of the academic information. So we have data science and artificial intelligence. This is available for August only for this summer, and our brand new subject, chemistry, will be available for July only. So if you are interested in working in one of those, please just note which month that it's available in. There will also be an opportunity, if you would like, to apply to work on a second academic subject for the other month, if that's something that would be of interest to you as well. But if you just want to work for one, then that's absolutely fine as well. So those are the programmes that are running just in one of the sessions. And then we have engineering, medicine and life sciences, and physics, which will be running for both July and August. Again, they are very similar, but there'll be some slight changes to the academic content, in particular for engineering. And then this is just a very brief overview of the second week. I won't run through it all, but as I mentioned, it's delivered by the Imperial Enterprise Lab, and students will work on topics such as climate, health and well-being, AI and robotics, or social impact, which hopefully will link to a lot of the learning that they did in the first week of the programme. And they are broad enough that they can cover quite a lot of different areas as well. And as well as the academic programme, of course, we want students to have a fantastic time and relaxing with us during the social programme. So as you'd imagine, the social programme covers a really wide area of activities. So it will start with induction and orientation activities. So that will be things such as campus tours, tours of the local area, ice-breaking activities with your mentor group. Because the students are aged 16 and 17, which is legally still a child here in the UK, we are with the students, or available to the students 24 hours. So we do have activities each evening and also at the weekends as well. So evening social activities will include things such as sport, ethos, as per the picture. We'll also be going to the theatre for one of the evenings. For mentors who worked previous years, hopefully you'll be very pleased to hear that we've managed to book Lion King tickets for the July session, but you will be going back to Wicked in August, but hopefully Lion King will be a nice change for you. There'll be a boat party in one of the evenings, and there'll also be some more chilled out activities as well on campus, so students get a bit of downtime whilst having opportunities to socialise with their groups or other students. There'll also be a weekend trip. So again, we'll be going on a trip to Brighton, which was always well received. Students have kind of their first taste of proper free time in Brighton. Hopefully the weather will be nice and sunny, but we'll provide them with fish and chips and an opportunity for them to explore with their friends. Also at the weekend, they'll have a Sunday where they can explore the local area around South Kensington. And then the weekend is finished off with our famous talent show. We want some more mentor activities and performances this year, so please get thinking about what your talents are. And then the social programme is rounded off with our finale celebration, which is an off-campus activity, gala dinner, disco. This summer we are in a different venue for those returning, so hopefully that will be of interest to you all. We'll be having the photo booth again, dinner, dancing, and we've also got a silent disco this year as well. So we're trialing that. So it'd be great to see what your feedback is on the finale. So yes, that's the social programme. So very, very busy social programme, which starts, as you'd imagine, after classes finish each day, and then throughout all of the 2 weekend days that they're here with us. So that's a very, very quick overview of what Global Summer School is. And now I'm going to talk a bit more about the mentor roles that we have available for this summer. So as per previous years, we have 4 different mentor roles that we're recruiting for this summer. The first is our academic mentors. So academic mentors, as the name suggests, will be with students during the academic part of the programme. The academic mentors will be with the students from around after breakfast time. They'll meet the students through to the end of the day. So that finishes, classes normally finish at 4:30 each day. Academic mentors will lead a group of no more than 10 students during their academic classes and throughout the lunch breaks. So when I say lead, I don't mean that the academic mentors will be doing any of the teaching. They'll be taught by current Imperial academics, but you will be facilitating the learning. So you'll be with your group of students throughout the day, ensuring they are where they need to be, and that you know where they are at all times. And you'll also help facilitate the group work. So for example, if you've got a group that need to work together on a project, you will be there to ensure that everybody's focused, people are not on their phones, they're not bored or wandering off, and you ensure that the quiet students can get involved and the louder students allow the others to have their say as well. Academic mentors will be working weekdays only, and in a few slides time I'll go through the expected hours and the dates that you'll be working. Facilitating academic mentors is a really important roles, and it's where we want to allocate some of our more experienced mentors to. You won't necessarily have a group of students, however you will be covering other mentors if they need extra support, or if any mentors are off sick or unavailable for any reason. Facilitating academic mentors, you'll be the GSS team's first point of contact throughout the day. Sorry, I've got a tickle. And you'll be helping us to coordinate groups and lunch breaks, and to really be that first point of contact. So it's really important that we have trustworthy mentors, and mentors who can build a great rapport with the academics and the team and other mentors as well. Pastoral mentors, you'll be working kind of the flip hours of the academic mentors. Again, you will lead a group of no more than 10 students during the social activities. So your shift will start from around 4:30 each day after classes, and will finish potentially around midnight or just before, when the social activities finish. I'll go into this in a bit more detail. Your work will be weekdays and weekends throughout the programme, so your hours will be slightly different to the academic mentors. And facilitating pastoral mentors, similar to the facilitating academic mentors, you will be the first point of contact for our pastoral managers, who are the night managers. And you'll be helping to cover groups, help coordinate meal times, and required to cover for pastoral mentors or lead groups where necessary. And again, your hours will be the same as the pastoral mentors, so working weekdays and weekends. And again, I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. So understand that's a very quick whiz through, but I do have more of a breakdown, and you can see the full job descriptions on our mentor web pages as well. So we'll pop a link in the chat so you can access that. So what are we looking for mentors to work through the programme? I'll talk about the application process, so you have a bit more information about the timelines and the deadline for that. What we of course are looking for are mentors or potential mentors who have experience working with children or young people. So as I mentioned, the Global Summer School is for students who are aged 16 and 17. However, it doesn't matter if you haven't had that exact experience of that exact age group. If you've worked with young people, kind of up to 18 and under, then you'd have great experience, transferable skills that we'll be looking for. Of course, if you're looking to apply as an academic mentor, the skills that we're looking for are people who potentially have done lots of tutoring, or have helped academically with groups, potentially gone into schools as a teaching assistant, set up academic clubs, or support for students, and that could be online or in person as well. For the pastoral mentors, we're looking for those mentors who have a bit more experience, hands-on experience. So do you work in a sports club? Do you help teach students music? Are you hands-on with students? Have you got experience of leading trips for young people, taking people off campus or out and about in London, taking students on buses, for example, or to sporting activities, or external events? So we are really looking for different skill sets for academic mentors and pastoral mentors. And you'll be able to demonstrate this throughout your application and in the supporting statement that we ask that you provide. Something that would be great is if you have experience of working in an international environment. Of course, Imperial is super international, so you've all got that under your belt. But if you have had experience of working with international students or any other people within an international environment, of course, it doesn't matter if they're not necessarily the right age group, but real interest in that as well is key, because we do have students from so many different nationalities and cultures and religions as well. So a real understanding of what it means to work in such an international environment. We will provide, of course, a schedule and some estimated timings. However, we do expect mentors, where possible, to be flexible with the timings. Things often happen that are outside our control. For example, a coach might get held up in traffic, or an academic might overrun. And we do expect mentors, where reasonable, to stay to finish the role. Also flexibility with roles as well. There are lots and lots of things that are outside our control, however well we prepare for things. So we may need to ask mentors just to do something that's slightly different or unexpected. So we expect flexibility, and people not to say no to us. We would expect people, again, where reasonable, to help us with any tasks that we have. It's a very fast-paced environment, a very quick changing environment. So we're looking for potential mentors who can adapt to this. It might be that we've made a plan and something has happened and we need to change the plan the next day. So we expect people who are able to adapt as much as possible, and also who are confident in communicating with students, with people from lots of different international backgrounds, and also with academics, external suppliers, and the GSS team as well. So people who are confident and polite in communicating is key within the roles. Eligibility. So the mentor roles are open to all Imperial students. However, priority is given to undergraduate students, and we're looking for undergraduate students who are at least in their second year of study. The reason for that is you've gained more experience, you know what it's like to study at Imperial, you've been here longer. Also, the students are 16 and 17, so often first year undergraduate students, there isn't that much of a gap between your age and also the student's age. So second years, we feel there's just a bit more of a break. You've had more experience, and of course, it's slightly more mature as well. So priority will be given to second year undergraduates or older. However, that doesn't mean that we won't be employing any first year undergraduates. Ideally, we wouldn't be looking for master's students. But again, if you are a master's student and interested in applying, please still apply. But we would give priority to undergraduate students. You, of course, must have the right to work, and it's your responsibility to check any visa restrictions, any restrictions with your degree. That is your responsibility to ensure that you have the correct right to work, and there will be a number of checks that we need to make legally in order to set you up on the casual worker system. You must, of course, complete all of the documentation, and you must complete it by the deadlines that we give you. If you are unable to complete the documentation or don't respond to us, then we may need to withdraw your offer, because it's really important that we have enough mentors. It's a legal requirement that we have a certain number of DBS trained staff, DBS checked staff, sorry, with our under 18 students. So it's really important that you complete all documentation. If you're not able to continue or you're no longer interested, then we understand, but please do just let us know as soon as possible if your situation changes. You must, of course, be available for the entire duration of the programme that you apply to work for. In an ideal world, you'd be available for both sessions, but if you're only available for one, that is absolutely fine. And for students who are interested in applying for the academic mentor roles, you must be studying a degree that's related to the subject area that you apply for, and we'll match you accordingly. So what are the main, these are very general, but what are the main responsibilities prior to the programme starting? So you will be guided and we will provide all of the information you require. But before you start work, all mentors must complete the process to gain a valid enhanced DBS check. As we're working with under 18-year-olds, we all need to be DBS checked, and there will be lots of safeguarding training as well that we will all take part in as we get closer to the programme. You must complete all right to work checks and set up with the casual worker team. If you are successful in gaining a role, the casual worker team will contact you separately. If you haven't already worked as a casual worker, then they will set up a meeting with you to check the documents and ensure that everything's okay, ready for you to get set up on the system. Like I've mentioned, you do have to meet all of the deadlines which are related to the recruitment, payroll. If you do want to get paid, that's your responsibility to complete all of the forms and the DBS check process. At any stage, if you do not meet the deadlines, we will unfortunately have to withdraw your application. Before you start the programme, there'll be lots of safeguarding and risk assessment documents that we'll ask you to read through and show that you've understood before the training starts. And we do expect that you're ready and prepared for training and briefing sessions, and that you're ready to start work, that you have read and completed everything that you need to, ready to start work. The first days of the programme is always very busy, very crazy. So we provide lots and lots of briefing information because unfortunately we just don't have the staffing or capacity to answer lots of questions. So we do expect that you are ready and have asked any questions in advance. Training sessions are on the slide at the moment. So if you're planning to work in July, the training will be on the 23rd of June. And if you're planning to work in August, the training session will be on the 28th of July. If you're working both, you will only need to attend the July training unless anything changes. But it's unlikely. You'll probably just have to attend the first one. Briefing and training sessions will be paid, as will some of the preparation work as well. So we do expect you to pay full attention and to complete everything that you need to complete. Whilst you're working, I think we've probably covered all of this, but responsibility to supervise a group of up to 10 students. You'll be setting up and tidying away activities, and just everything generally in order to ensure that the programme is running smoothly. One of the main roles of the mentor role is safeguarding or assisting with the safeguarding. So we will be asking you to report any incidents and concerns following our process. Of course, we'll provide full information of what that process is, and follow all of our safeguarding and risk assessment procedures as well. But again, you'll be fully trained on all of this information. You have to remember that all mentors and staff are representing Imperial to prospective applicants and their parents. So we need to act accordingly. One of the aims of Global Summer School is to promote Imperial as a place for students to come back to study for undergraduate, potentially postgraduate study. So we really want to showcase what Imperial can offer students as well, and to remember that we are ambassadors for the university. You'll of course have to sign in and out each day with Global Summer School staff and to attend briefings and debriefs each day. And also ensure that you're following the uniform policy at all times. And again, all of this information will be provided to you. I think this probably goes without saying, but what we expect is, of course, professionalism and commitment and reliability, the confidence to communicate with young people and the Global Summer School team, and the willingness to work as part of a team, and very importantly, to treat everyone who's involved with fairness and respect while supporting participants, each other and the Global Summer School team. I don't know if I said that the attendance at the training is mandatory. They are mandatory, but you will of course be paid for those sessions. And most importantly, because it's a very, very busy programme, is to continue to have enthusiasm about Imperial and the Global Summer School as well. So I realise there's quite a lot of information on this slide, but it's all on our web pages as well, so you can read it in a little bit more detail. So academic mentors and facilitating academic mentors, your core hours for working each session will be 75. So the expectation is you will be working and paid for a minimum of 75 hours for each session. That is, of course, if you don't call in sick one day, or if you come in late or leave early, of course, you won't be paid for the same amount of hours. But the core hours we expect for academic mentors is 75. And above on the top of the slide is the timings for each of the days during the programme. You will, of course, have a full confirmed schedule in advance of the programme, and your hours will be confirmed there. Flexibility is required, so please don't take this as gospel. It may change slightly, but this is the expectations of the role. You'll be paid £15.68 per hour plus holiday pay on top of that. So it is a rolled up rate. You won't be allowed to take holiday because obviously it's such a short programme, but you will be paid the equivalent in holiday pay. We can pop a link in the chat now to the casual worker pay scales, so you'll be able to see what the £15.68 actually looks like with holiday pay included. For academic mentors, accommodation is not provided because you're working kind of a standard day, 8:30 to 5 o'clock on most days. Travel is not provided. You will be expected to make your own way onto campus and to pay your own way to get to work each morning. You will, however, be provided with lunch vouchers when you're on shift. Lunch vouchers to use in at Taste Imperial venues on campus. You will be having a paid lunch because you'll be with your group the whole time. So you'll be using your lunch vouchers. You will still be working, but there is, of course, opportunity to have a break, to step away from the group and also to do anything that you might need to do in a personal nature. Key duties of academic mentors is that you'll be meeting the students at a handover after they've finished their breakfast, and you'll be taking them to classes in the morning and in the afternoon. You'll be assisting the teaching staff if they need to, so it might be that you help hand out some materials, or you might need to help facilitate groups depending on what the activity is. You'll supervise your students over the lunch period and stay with your group at all times. And then after classes are finished, you will then take your students to handover with the pastoral mentors, and you'll debrief with the GSS team and sign out. There will be a briefing each morning before you start your shift. That will be at 8:30 each morning. Academic mentors, facilitating academic mentors is similar, but you'll be assisting the GSS team to ensure that all of the rooms are set up and advise the mentors when they're ready to take their groups there. You may need to assist academic staff differently, and you'll be helping organise the logistics for the lunch period and cover where needed. At the end of the days, you'll be tidying the rooms, removing any rubbish, lost property, etc. And you'll be on call for the Global Summer School team throughout the day, as well as being, as I've mentioned, our first point of contact. So we may ask you to do some things in the office, or to move some things around campus as needed. Academic mentors, you'll be managed by the Global Summer School team, so that's all of us on the call at the moment. You will have a briefing with us each morning, and then the debrief will also be with us. During classes, of course, you'll be expected to listen to the guidance and instructions of teaching staff, some of which you may know. And just to highlight that academic mentors, you will be assigned for the first week to a specific subject stream, depending on your experience and your subject of study. In the second week, you'll be working with the enterprise team, so you'll have students in your groups who are from all of the different subject areas. Pastoral mentors is the opposite, really, of the academic team. Your core hours will be 94.5 hours for each of the programmes. So again, similar to the academic mentors, this is what we expect your minimum hours will be, and the minimum hours that you'll be working and paid for. With pastoral, there is a bit more flexibility because there's just more activities and more things that could potentially go wrong or will need some extra support with. But 94.5 is kind of the minimum that you'll be expected to be working. There may be some additional hours added on. They are not guaranteed. And there may also be some on-call hours throughout the night allocated to specific mentors. Again, they are not guaranteed and are allocated at the discretion of GSS staff. Hours for pastoral mentors will 100% vary between mentor to mentor, depending on your group, depending on the activities, and depending on what the pastoral mentors managers, might ask you to do. Where possible, we will rotate opportunities for extra work, but just to stress, they are not guaranteed, and these extra hours are not included within your core hours. So we'd expect pastoral mentors to be working the 94.5 hours with flexibility. Within the 94.5 hours, there will be one full unpaid day off. This is a legal requirement. All pastoral mentors and pastoral managers will have to take this day in line with employment regulations. It's not negotiable. And just to highlight, it can't be the first day of the programme or the last day of the programme. The reason for this day off is the pastoral mentor role is exhausting. You're with the students a long time. You'll be staying on campus, and this is to allow you to have a full break, a full mental break, to step away from campus, do something within your normal life, and then to come back refreshed. It's not negotiable, so everybody will be taking this day off. Again, the full rota and hours will be provided in advance. And if you know you have a specific day off that you'd like to take during the programme, for example, it's your mum's birthday, or you've got an academic obligation, then you can submit those in advance, and the pastoral managers will do their best to allocate you that as your official date off. For pay is the same pay rate as academic mentors for the hourly rate. The on-call rate is, of course, slightly less because hopefully you won't be doing anything during that time. So that's £12.21 per hour plus holiday pay if you are on call. If you are called to do anything during that time, your pay will then revert to your normal daytime rate. Hopefully you won't be. Hopefully there won't be any emergencies, but if you are, you will be paid fully. Accommodation for pastoral mentors is provided. You will be provided with a private room in Princess Gardens accommodation, and you will be expected to stay there for the duration of the programme. That's part of the role, that you'll be staying there. A lot of the social activities, you might not return back to campus until 11:30, midnight. You might be on call, and then there'll be an early start in the morning. So you are expected to stay on campus. On your day off, if you obviously want to go home or to go elsewhere, that's absolutely fine. You just need to sign out with a pastoral manager so we know where you are in case of a fire alarm or any emergencies, that we're not waiting for you to come out of your room. Travel, as your role will be involved with social activities and off-campus activities, travel during the social programme will of course be included on coaches normally, and if you're asked to go to the airport at all, then we will cover or reimburse the cost for this. So going to the airport to collect students. Travel to work daily, even that you will be on campus, but if you do need to leave during the day, any travel to work will not be compensated for. Meals will, again, similar to the academic mentors, will be provided when you're on shift. So if you're working a breakfast shift and a dinner shift, these will be provided. They are in the SCR on campus, so don't get too excited, but it's nice to have some free meals as well. You will be working, so you won't be taking dinner time off. It is a working shift because you'll be with your group of students. And then, key duties, so similar to the academic mentors, but you'll be doing the opposite. So students will be handed over to you from the academic mentors. You'll supervise students at dinner, and then there'll be the social activities which might be on or off campus, and then you'll be helping patrol accommodation in the evenings to ensure that students are all safe and that they're in their rooms rather than doing anything they shouldn't be doing. And then in the morning, you will be meeting students outside their accommodation to take them to breakfast and then hand over to the academic mentors. And then that's your shift finish. So by 10 a.m. each morning, you will be finished, probably a little bit before, and then you won't need to sign back in until no earlier than around 4 p.m. each evening. Facilitating pastoral mentors, similar, but you'll be assisting with any logistics and tidy up or set up as well that the pastoral managers need help with during the social activities. You will, of course, be briefed before each activity, and there will be a debrief. That's normally with the pastoral managers, but it might also be with the GSS team, depending on what the activity is. The debriefs will always happen each evening, so they might be quite late. If you just want to go to bed and you're not interested in debriefing, that's fine, you're allowed to sign out. But we want the opportunity for you to be able to share your experiences or any feedback about what went well, what didn't go well, so we can change it for the next activity. Oh, this slide is a bit wonky. Oh, let me go back, sorry. Managed to freeze the whole presentation. Let me just wait for this to show. So this is the application process, probably what you guys are most interested in at the moment. So applications for mentors for this summer will open tomorrow. We will send an email tomorrow with the full information, a recording of this presentation if you're interested to rewatch it, a link to the application form, of course, and also a link to our mentor web pages, which have all of this information on. At the end, if you're quick, there will be a QR code with a link directly to the application form, which is actually open now. So if you do want to get ahead of your colleagues who haven't come today, you'll have to scan the QR code and you can start your application. If not, wait for tomorrow when the mailing will come out. So applications will be open for a month and they will close on the 27th of March. However, I strongly recommend that you do not wait until the 27th of March at midnight to submit your application, because we will be reviewing applications on a rolling basis. If we're full, if we've got enough people, we will close specific streams. So from experience, we know that pastoral mentor positions will fill extremely quickly. So please do get your application in, and also medicine academic mentors will fill very quickly as well. So if they're the two things that you're interested in, do not hang around until the 27th of March, because it's very unlikely that there'll be roles still available. So we will do it on a rolling basis. However, we do have some kind of guide dates that we'll be working to. So from the 11th to the 17th of March, we will prioritise returning mentors, so mentors who've worked in the last couple of years with us. You have to have worked on Global Summer School, not any other outreach programmes, although that is a bonus. But if you've worked on Global Summer School in the last couple of years, we will prioritise those returning mentors. So if you've applied before the 11th of March, we will assess at these applications and you should receive an outcome between the 11th and the 17th of March. If returning mentors submit application after that, then you'll be in the pool with the rest of the new mentors. We will then assess all other candidates from the 8th to the 16th of April. So we will be assessing on a rolling basis, but you can assume that if you haven't heard from us, you'll hear from us from the 8th to the 16th of April, where we'll advise all other candidates on their outcome. Returning mentors, if you're coming back to do the same role, we will not need to interview you. If you're coming back to do a different role or interested in a different role, we will invite you to an interview. All new candidates who haven't worked with Global Summer School before will be inviting you, if you are successful at the first stage, we'll be inviting you to an online interview. The online interviews are scheduled to be held from the 27th of April to the 29th of May. So we will invite you to interview at some point between those dates. It's only a short interview, it's online, it's nothing to worry about, it's just to learn a little bit more about you and to best match you to a role. We will be inviting you to a specific timed interview. If you can't make it for whatever reason, if you've got a class or you've got an exam, whatever it is, that's fine. Do contact us as soon as possible to say you can't attend, but please do let us know some suggested times, because it will just make life a bit easier. Otherwise, it's lots of communication. So if you can't attend, that's fine. Just let us know when a better time would be within that time period. We can't really extend it past the 29th of May. And then from the 1st of May, this will be on a rolling basis. We will start to let candidates know if they were successful in the interview or not. And you'll be sent a job offer along with an agreement, other supporting documents, and a survey that we need you to complete with some confidential information. You will have a 7-day deadline to complete all of this information. And if we don't receive it within the 7 days, then unfortunately we may have to withdraw your offer. And then from the 1st of June, all of the successful candidates who've completed all of the other stages, this is when we aim to start the DBS process, the casual worker setup, There'll be mentor training and briefing and general preparation and onboarding for the mentor roles, with the training dates on the dates that we've mentioned before. So hopefully that's a very quick overview of the application process and the timelines. They might vary slightly, but this is what we're working towards at the moment. Just to highlight, as probably with all roles at Imperial now, we do follow a safer recruitment process. I've mentioned many times that all successful candidates must pass a satisfactory DBS check. And applicants must, of course, declare any criminal convictions or child protection investigations at the application stage. So please do contact me if you've got any concerns or if you think that anything might show up on the DBS check, but you're still interested. There may also be online and social media searches conducted for shortlisted candidates working with under 18s. This is following Imperial guidance. So as an example, searchers may identify issues related to drug or alcohol, inappropriate images, legal issues, that kind of thing. So we will be checking. We can provide some more information on this if you have any concerns. We will, of course, only be using open, publicly available information. We can't do any deep dives to the dark web or anything, but we will be seeing your social media profiles. So if you do have any issues, then we will be able to find it. We will, of course, like previous years, we'll be contacting your faculty to ask them to provide references to check your suitability on working with Global Summer School, and they will highlight, and they have highlighted, issues previously. And at this stage, we are able to withdraw your offer, of course. If there are any issues during the programme, then we may flag or have flagged any welfare or conduct issues with your faculty after the programme, but we will also flag positive behaviours as well. So it's not all negative, but we will be in contact with faculty. They're well aware that you're applying for a mentor role. And then I think I've nearly finished. Application process. I think we've probably talked about this already. Application process, when you're applying, we cannot guarantee that you'll be given your first choice of role or session. So you may be offered a slightly different role. When we interview you, we'll ask if you are interested in anything different. So please check your offers and agreements when you receive them to make sure that you're happy. If we sent you something different, it's not because we've made a mistake, it's because we just don't have availability, or we've thought that you're more suitable in a different role. You may also be offered a waitlist position. So we do have students, mentors who drop out. So we have to have some mentors on a wait list. We'd expect you to complete all of the documentation and be ready to go. So if there is a position available, then you'll be able to quickly fill it. So you do need to have your DBS check ready. You do need to have attended any training and briefing. So you may be offered a waitlist position. Interviews and offers may be made on a rolling basis, and like I've said, the dates might vary slightly of when we get back to you. It's often that we do it in tranches, so we might do pastoral mentors one day and medical mentors the next day. So just because your friend has heard an outcome, it doesn't mean that we've forgotten you. Please don't chase us, because we have a huge amount of inquiries that we're working through, and we will get back to you if you're successful or if you're unsuccessful. Priority, as I mentioned, will be given to those who can work both sessions, and if you're a returning mentor, that's a bonus as well in the first instance if you're quick in getting your application in. We do want to ensure that we have a really diverse cohort of mentors, which reflects our diverse student cohort, and it's based upon a wide range of factors. We do take this into account when we're assessing and allocating roles. So that might be a reason as well that we can't offer you a position, because we do want to ensure that we have a super diverse cohort of mentors. We can't provide individual feedback, unfortunately. And as I've mentioned multiple times, if you do not meet any of our deadlines, then we may have to withdraw your application. So that's it from me. I'll stop talking. If you're quick, there's a QR code there which you can get straight to our application form. One of my colleagues might kindly just pop the link in the chat as well. I will stop sharing my screen and then hand over to Nick and Min to see if there's any questions that we can help answer.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Claire. Greatly appreciated. Yes, so we do have a couple of questions. This first one has been asked by two separate people, but in slightly different manners. So can intercalating students apply and / can external intercalating students apply?
External students, no. So the reason for this is we have had intercalating students work in the past, but because of the knowledge of Imperial isn't as strong as some of our other students, it's unlikely that we would offer you a position. You can certainly apply, but you wouldn't be given priority in the roles.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, my audio briefly dropped out there. So, hi, thank you for the information. If we have previously worked as a facilitating pastoral mentor and would like to apply for both facilitating and normal pastoral mentor positions, if successful in the initial application, would we also be interviewed? Thank you.
No, that's fine. So if you're a returning mentor and you've worked as a facilitating, but in the same job category, you wouldn't need to be interviewed. That's absolutely fine. Maybe I don't think we ask your second choices in the application form, but it would be really useful if you put that information in your personal statement. So anything that you want us to take into account, pop that in. If you are interested in both roles, that would be great. Min's coming on. Do we ask their second choices? Sorry, Min, in the application form.
No, we don't ask their second choice.
No, yeah. So if you pop that information in the personal statement, then when we're reading through it, it'll be really helpful so we know if we can allocate you to either role potentially.
Perfect. Thank you. Are final year undergraduate students considered, as our degree technically ends in June, so we lost card access after that point?
Yes, this happened a lot last year. Yes, that's absolutely fine. So final year undergraduates, absolutely would love for you to come back and work with us. There was a lot of card issues last year, more than normal. Don't really know why, but we will be able to provide you with a temporary card. So that's totally fine.
Perfect. Can PhD students apply who also did their undergraduates at Imperial?
We would welcome postgraduate and PhD students to apply. As I've mentioned, undergraduate students would definitely be given priority. We also, I was going to say have issues, that's not the right word. If you're an international postgraduate student or PhD student, there are also lots of visa restrictions. So often you are not able to work enough hours in order to be employed by Global Summer School because of the restriction in your hours. Is during the program as well, so you'd need to just double check that. You're welcome to apply, but priority would definitely be given to the undergraduate student.
Brilliant, thank you. So someone else here just wanted to check whether data science is in both sessions this year.
No, data science is August only, so we've got chemistry, which is July only, and data science will be August only. But if you are interested in applying as an academic data science mentor, potentially you might want to apply to be physics mentor in the opposite session, if you think that would be something that your skill set, that you have a skill set for. You can, on the application form, there is an option for you to select that, so we can make sure that we consider you for both if you are interested in that.
Brilliant, thank you. Can I apply for both GSS and other summer schools within outreach at Imperial?
That's a really good question. You can apply, but we will be sharing our list of mentors with outreach team and vice versa. So you would not be able to work on all of the programs because of that legal requirement that I mentioned. So you certainly wouldn't be able to work on programs that are running in the same week. And it's unlikely that you'll be able to work in consecutive weeks as well. Outreach programs and our programs are really intense. So I'm not trying to oversell how tiring they are. So for safety wise, because we're working with under 18s and your own safety, we just wouldn't recommend it. And we have pulled mentors off who haven't told us that they'd be working on different programs. So yes, you're very welcome to apply, but I would consider which you're most interested in if you do get 2 job offers, because you wouldn't be able to take them both if they are at the same time. And actually on that note, We do also in the application form, and we do need kind of honest answers about this, ask if you've got any other commitments throughout the programme. So if you have any academic commitments that are kind of consistently running throughout the programme, you need to be in classes, or if you have a job or you're volunteering that's kind of more than a couple of hours, you do need to let us know, because again, legally you can't work hundreds of hours each week. And just for kind of safeguarding concerns, we wouldn't allow you. So that does also include in August any medical mentors who might also have medical placements at the same time. We will be checking on that as well. So please just do take that into account. We will be asking information, and we will do follow up as well about that.
Thank you very much. So how much does not being able to work both sessions affect my application?
It's hard to tell because I don't know. We obviously don't know how many applications we're going to get, although it's fantastic. There's so many people here today. It's brilliant. We will give priority to mentors who can work both sessions, because obviously if you've worked July, you've got that experience, you know the team, you know kind of how it's going to work, and you can help feedback as well. So it makes life easier for everybody involved if you can then work August. However, I don't know if Min knows how many students that we have or how many mentors that we have that just work one session, but we do have a huge number normally of mentors who only work one session. And of course, the chemistry and the data science mentors are likely to probably only work one session anyway. So it's not a definite no. Please still put your application in. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll definitely still consider you if you meet all of the other eligibility, and we'll still interview you as well. So we wouldn't put off interviewing you.
Thank you very much. So if I'm currently a second year, do I count as a third year by September 2026 or still a second year?
I don't know. I can't work out that maths. It doesn't matter either way, because you'll either be a second or a third year. So I don't really understand the question, but it doesn't matter because either way you're not a first year.
Okay.
Is that right?
Perfect. Yep, that makes sense.
Please message me if you had a different meaning behind that question that I just don't understand.
Perfect. So another one that I can answer. Will the slides be shared after the meeting is finished? So a recording of this will be sent out to attendees and those who could not attend. And you can also find the recording of this session on our webpage, on the Mentor webpage afterwards. The actual slides themselves will not be shared, but any information you want to find within the slides can be found within that recording. So yeah, don't worry about that. And are there any prayer arrangements for mentors and students?
Yes, there will be prayer arrangements. So obviously it depends on your role. If you're an academic mentor, well, actually last year we had a mentor who very helpfully took a large group of students to prayer across Prince's Gardens to the Multi-Faith Centre. So that might happen again. So that was really helpful. If not, of course, mentors, it's fine to take a break as needed when you go to pray. We just ask that you just let a member of the team know, especially if you need your group covered. It's totally fine, but obviously we can't let a group of students be unsupervised. So you're welcome to go to your normal prayer facilities, however you would normally do that. For students, they will be aware that they can use a multi-faith centre. For arrivals days and other days, we'll have kind of rooms allocated for prayer rooms, or they of course might want to pray in their bedrooms depending on what they feel most comfortable with. So yes, it just kind of depends on your role and the day and what the activities are, but yes, absolutely. Yeah, no restriction to, of course, mentors or students being able to pray, and we just work around the sessions as needed. And academics are aware that I think it fell, the prayer time and lunchtime fell, I think, just when classes were starting last year. So academics are fine, of course, if people are a few minutes late to class.
Perfect. From the Q&A section, we are out of questions, but I'll just give it a couple more minutes just in case. Oh, here we go. So if you are a bursary or low-income student, is there any possibility of travel reimbursement or support?
As a mentor, unfortunately not. It's not something that we offer. Potentially you might be more interested in the pastoral mentor role, if that is an issue, because you'll be based on campus anyway, so you won't be kind of traveling into work. You'll just be traveling out to do whatever you want to do during the day in your free time, and you will have accommodation and 2 meals provided. So that could potentially be an option. You're very welcome to email the team or myself if you wanted to discuss that in a little bit more detail as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Are first years at a significant disadvantage, similar to master's students in the application process?
Again, same answer to the other one that I answered. We'd still welcome your application. We would just prioritise second year undergraduate. So it really does depend how quickly the second years and third years are to apply, how many applications we have, and also the roles. So like I said, we know that the pastoral roles will fill really quickly, and the medicine academic mentor roles normally fill quite quickly. We've never had any chemistry mentors before because it's a new role, so we don't know if we have any. So potentially there might be some options there. It really just depends. There's lots of variables. Please do pop your application in. We will definitely still consider you. But yeah, I don't know until we open applications tomorrow to see how popular it is, I'm afraid.
Perfect. Thank you. So if we pick both sessions now and we get an outreach summer school offer later, how does that work? Do we have to pick between them?
Well, it sounds like you'd rather do outreach, so maybe you should focus your application on outreach rather than global summer school. I mean, yes, you can withdraw at a later stage. I just ask that you're considerate when you are doing the withdrawals. It is a job. You are putting a commitment in. So just consider everything else that's involved in the process. And be as considerate as possible. We know people will need to drop out because you might have an internship in the summer, or you might get a job offer for something permanent, and we realise that takes priority over working on global summer school. Of course we do, but I would say just let people know as soon as possible, whether it's letting outreach know or letting us know, because we just for both of the roles, because we need to have a certain amount of people legally, it's really important that we can then move someone from the wait list or re-advertise if needed. So yes, let us know if you can't do it anymore, but I'd think maybe pick which one you want to focus on and go for that one.
Brilliant. We have 1 minute left, so I'll ask one final question. So if someone prefers pastoral but would be happy to do academic as well, how should we reflect that in our application?
Yeah, you can just pop it in the personal statement section. So you can pick what you're most interested in. But if you also would be happy to do either, pop it in the statement and then we can pick that up when we are assessing anything. If you're a new applicant who hasn't worked on GSS before, then in the interview we'll ask you that question anyway to help gauge where you might be best suited, but it won't hurt to pop it in. If you're a attorney mentor, we'd have to interview you anyway if you're interested in a different role. So kind of decide if you would rather be interviewed or not interviewed. But pop it in the statement and then we can consider everything all together. It's great if it's all in one place, it makes life easier. So pop as much information in the application form as you can, rather than kind of emailing us separately, because it's really hard to then match up all of the information.
Brilliant. And that is time. That is 3:30. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nick. That was very helpful. Thanks, everybody. It's brilliant to see so many of you here. There's still 80 odd people here, so that's fantastic. Hopefully we answered all of your questions. Like Nick said, all of this information will be coming out to you tomorrow. You can get an application in tonight if you're speedy as well. We won't be processing them tonight, but you'll be first on the list, so you'll be at a bit of an advantage. If you have any questions that weren't answered or you need any more clarity, then please email the Global Summer School team at the email address that was on the screen. Perhaps someone could just pop it in the chat now as well if you haven't got it, and then we're happy to help. Please be patient with us. We've got a lot of queries coming from mentors and we've got a lot of questions coming from students. we've got nearly 1,000 applications, I think. So we're very, very busy, but we will get back to you as soon as possible. So please don't chase this, and we'll come back to you when we can come back to you. But thank you. It's brilliant to see so many of you here today, and look forward to working with you in the summer.